As a part of the curriculum, the students are required to take up project work in their specific area of interest for the successful completion of the course. Hence, in this session, I'm going to highlight about few important aspects, that is, format or structure and the basic instructions in compiling a project report. Project means a detailed study of a topic or an issue of a student's interest in a systematic, scientific, and a logical manner. Hence, first you need to know how are you going to compile and present your project report. So there are certain essential elements being given by the university and which has to be compiled in your report writing procedure. Firstly, you need to have the title page, followed by declaration by the student stating that this project is an original study and not submitted to any other university. And the certificate should be provided signed by the guide or the principal or the director. The next most important document to authenticate your project work is from the company where you have undergone the study. So, the certificate of the company stating that Mr. or Miss has completed the study for a duration of 3 weeks or a month, and the topic under which you have undertaken should be certified, followed by acknowledgements. You have to thank all those people who helped you from the beginning till the end of compiling your report, which includes the principal of the institution, director, project guide, your friends, family members, organizational members, and those whom you feel to be acknowledged, followed by one paragraph or two paragraphs of a summary which is called as executive summary. You need to have some tables, that is table of contents, and then list of tables, charts, graphs or diagrams with page numbers. The format and samples will also be explained in the next session. The next, you need to know the chapters which will be compiled in the report. Basically, you will be focusing on 6 chapters. Chapter 1 is all about introduction. You might have chosen a topic relating to marketing or finance or human resource management or research methodology. You can also think of general management. So, the topic of your choice will be based on the department in which you're going to compile the report. So, therefore, in introduction, you have to give all the details pertaining to the topic which you have chosen. So, according to the need of the project, you will be compiling your introduction. The next most important chapter is research methodology or design. Here, there are certain elements which you have to ponder upon and compile in your report. You have to state in a paragraph or 2 or 3 paragraphs of statement of the problem. Here you will be able to describe why you have chosen this particular area. Maybe you would have taken a topic how COVID-19 has affected real estate sector. So there is an identification of a problem. So that you will be writing in a descriptive manner in statement of the problem. You can next chalk down the objectives. How many objectives? You can limit yourself to 3 or 4 objectives. So maybe in the next session, I will give you with examples how to write your objectives of the study. You have to decide the sources and data collection. Data collection can be of 2 sources, primary and secondary. Primary data is to be collected through questionnaire or interview or schedule. Next, secondary data you can collect from published material. Published data is referred as secondary data, which can be from newspaper, magazines, journals, reports, websites, and so on. Next, how did you choose data collection process? Was it through Google form, telephone, or email, which has to be stated? So all this will be compiled in chapter 2. Chapter 3 is about company profile, the organization in which you have undertaken a study, maybe Flipkart or the company where you work, or it can be Amazon, any company where you have taken this research, a garment sector or a bottling division, which can be into processing drinking water, any organization, government, non government, quasi government, or private, public, national, international, multinational, transnational company, any one company where you have taken your study, that company's detail has to be compiled in company profile. What will you be including in company profile is vision of the organization, mission, objectives, who are the directors, the structure. This data compilation will be easy because every company has its own website. When you browse through the website, you get all the information pertaining to company profile. Chapter 4 is where you secure 40% of your research marks, that is through data analysis and interpretation. Based on your data analysis and interpretation, you can compile suggestions and avoid using the word recommendation, because as a student you have only the auto- autonomy to give suggestions, not recommendation. Finally, you'll be drafting one paragraph of conclusion, and every research will have certain limitations which will be compiled in chapter 6. The limitation is now due to COVID, you will not be able to go on the field and meet people directly. That is one of the limitation. Time is a limitation. Resource is a limitation. Access to information is also a limitation. So I will give you certain examples of how to compile a limitations also, followed by bibliography and annexure. In annexure, you will add all those additional data, like if you have prepared a questionnaire, it has to be attached, or an interview schedule, or any forms which can be included in annexure. So these are the broad outline of the chapters, chapter 1 to 6. We move on with certain key instructions relating to your format, typing, and printing. And as you're aware about, this report will be compiled in the paper which is A4 size. And the font type is Times New Roman. The size of the font for running matters is 12. And for headings, it has to be 14. Line spacing for the text should be 1.5 line spacing. And it is also for list of tables, charts, graphs should be single line spacing. And we should know about the alignment. Title page should be center. Chapter headings should also be in center, whereas subheading should be in left, and the body of the text you have an option to justify. Margins. Since you're going for binding, you need to have certain margin space left, which is not less than 3 per centimeters at the binding edge, and other margins, that is right, top and bottom, not less than 2 centimeters. And with regard to all titles and subtitles should be printed in bold, and therefore you should take care of all the titles which you mention in your tables, graphs, and charts. So, need not worry, the project compiling process, once you know the chapters, the structure, and the format, it will be definitely a good learning experience, and it will also have a scope to score better in your university examination. So it's just the beginning to know about what is research, how to compile a project report. Maybe in the other sessions I will give you detailed information with examples pertaining to every chapter. Thank you. Remember that research is creating new knowledge. Thank you for learning through this session.